What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Cloud Slayer channel. Today's Ramble, we're going to start off with some more UFC announcements. This past weekend, there was a big shocker in the MMA world. Sergey Pavlovich, he ended up losing to Tom Aspinall. It was a pretty big upset. I think everybody had Sergey over him, but Tom Aspinall came to play that day and got the finish, and ultimately won the light heavyweight championship of the world. Or no, yeah, was it light heavyweight? It might have been heavyweight. It was the heavyweight championship of the world, the interim heavyweight championship of the world. My bad, I misspoke. I might have also said Sergey's last name incorrectly. Pavlovich, I think it was. I can't remember. I butchered. My bad. I apologize as always. But and then we also had Yuri Prohaska versus Alex Pereira. We had Alex winning the light heavyweight championship. That's who won the light heavyweight championship. So we had Alex Pereira putting a stop to Yuri Prohaska, which was a good fight because Yuri had Alex Pereira rocked also, right before that. So, some would consider it an early stoppage. Some, at the same time, it was like the ref could have stopped it or let it play out at the same time. So I'm not mad at it. I could see it going either way, and I wouldn't have complained. Alex could have finished him. He could have recovered too. Never know. He did go limp though. So, and man, that just tells you that Alex was down in the middleweight before this with the frickin' Adesanya, man, big old monsters. So, you know what I mean? It's awesome. It's awesome to see that kind of stuff, and I didn't doubt him at all, and stuff like that. I knew that those are some fights that you can't really count anybody out on, especially like that the Tub and Sergey fight. Everybody, a couple buddies asking me before the fight who I thought was going to win. And I was like, the thing is, if I'm a betting man, it's Sergey, but as a fight fan, you can't count anybody out, So, especially when they're at that level. And somebody like Tom, he comes to the show up. If he shows up, he can beat anybody, just like, anybody that's up there in that top 10, It's about confidence. It's about how they're feeling in that moment. And, it's mind games. So, they build that confidence. If they don't got that confidence, you're not going to go anywhere. So I think that's going to conclude the MMA segment here. And we're going to jump into a ramble here of, confidence can get you further. I just thought about it while we're talking about it, right? Confidence, it can help you overcome almost anything, It's like a big thing when you're young, you're playing sports, you're playing lifting weights or anything like that. It was always like people are bigger than you, they're stronger than you, they're faster than you, and all that stuff. But there comes a point when you realize that you're on that level too, and as long as you put forth more effort, you're going to get better. I always had older cousins who were, playing football and stuff like that, and you find yourself absorbed watching them instead of being a part of it and playing as well. And as soon as you realize that you're in there with them, you're like, dude, I can get better too, and I'm starting to get closer to this person, and I can even get better than that. It just depends on how willing I am to go out there and play, or go and lift some weights, I remember when I was young, the adults or older cousins, they were bench pressing quite a bit of weight, right? But then when after my, I fractured my ankle, and then I ended up quitting basketball because I didn't like basketball. So I started lifting weights, and my goal was just to be stronger than my cousins. I think they were only bench pressing 265 or something. But when you're a kid and you've never even hardly got past a plate, or even got up to a plate, it might seem impossible, but grinded it out, and I got it 2 years before he said he got to his personal best, and I was like, dude, I'm pretty strong, built a lot of confidence and stuff like that. And by the time I was that guy's age, I was bench pressing twice as much as he claimed to be. I never seen him do it. I'm sure he did it, but 165 probably, but got to 300 at 16. So I was stoked about that. I was ultra confident and in most of my abilities, and stuff like that. But you know, it it doesn't lift the weights and all that stuff. It doesn't matter too much about that. You just it's about helping yourself feel more confident and achieving goals. And moving forth from that, like, how do you go even further? How do you dig more? How do you got to implement different things to try to get further in life and stuff like that? And like, how do you do it? And you always have to look onward to find that answer. It might be somebody else that's been through it, or you're failing, and then you figure it out, and then you move forward. Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with your confidence and stuff like that. Because if you're not confident, who's going to be confident in you? Yeah, it is what it is, and you gotta believe in it. You gotta believe that the process works, that you're doing it for a reason, and that it's going to make you better, and that you are a better person than you were yesterday. Yeah, and it's easy to say, but that's where you got to go. You got to go inside yourself. On the topic of fighting, Yuri Prohaska, even though he lost, he had some good mentalities, some good practices that he does, where he would like lock himself into a dark room and like meditate, and he would face that demon within per se. I don't know if anybody's ever fasted and stayed in like a quarantine state. You're just in there with your mind and you're battling, and you're seeing if you can stay in there and fight not only the hunger but also that loneliness, and it's a big part of Native culture too. I've only fasted a handful of times, and stuff like that, and I could tell you it's tough. It's more tough than people think it is, and stuff like that. Especially when you're locked away and you're there with a growly tummy that's making your mind think weird things and trying anything it can to make you eat and give up and stuff like that. So when you overcome that, I think it's a big accomplishment. You get out of there and you're like, dude, this is awesome. I can't believe I did that, dude. Like you do whatever you can to keep your mind preoccupied. When you're out there. Some people see visions when they don't eat, and stuff like that. So who knows if it's a hallucinogen and stuff like that, or is it you seeing the future that you can achieve? You could also see a false future, but it helps with confidence. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. So you got to realize that even though you can see a different a picture, doesn't mean it's going to come true, because there's only one thing left for you to do is to work towards it, right? And nothing's predetermined, and that you can't just give up. You have to go through it, plow through it wholeheartedly, and some people never make it through that. Some people are never lucky enough, like if they play like sports on a sports team, to win a championship, and it's hard for some people to move on from that, but a lot of people do. They learn that's not everything, that they can do other things that they could be great at, and ultimately make a living from and stuff like that. It's never going to be an easy path, right? Because not everybody gets into like the NBA, the NFL, the UFC, or anything like that, because there has to be losers. There has to be people that can't quite figure it out, or there's people that quit, that people who don't foster those same beliefs that you do, that helped you go forward and dig deep and become better, and there's just, they always say it too, like there's some gym warriors out there that, leave their whole career in the gym and never make it out of there, So, hopefully you're not one of those guys that, like me, just go lift in the gym, But I don't care. I'd rather lift in the gym than not at all. So I don't look to compete in any sense, stuff like that. I just do it for fun and see how strong I can get myself, and see how much I can educate myself a little bit, because learn a few things, a lot of YouTube and stuff like that. But a lot of it's these people that are studying these things for their whole life, and they've been implementing the things that they say. And sometimes the information that you're given isn't always totally correct, and doing things that you don't have to. It doesn't have to be as technical as some people think. That it's as simple as going out there and doing it, putting yourself through it. And not every one way works for everybody, and it doesn't not work for everybody. So you got to remember that everything's going to work differently for everybody. It just depends on the time and the effort that you put into it, and help build on yourself. I remember when I got to 300 pounds, again, as an adult instead of a teenager. It took me forever to, it took me probably about 3 weeks, almost a month, of trying to get over that barrier of like, dude, it's 300 pounds, you can get it, and you're like, you can get it again, you can get as strong as you were or stronger. Because I was doing higher reps at weights that I was doing in high school that I could, before, when I got to 300. But when I was a teenager, I was fearless, and I don't have any spotters or anything like that. So it was real scary, I kept imagining the weight falling on me and crushing my chest or something, or my throat, which is possible. But then I finally I worked up the courage, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. And one day, it was just working out, everything was flowing real easy. 275 went up easy reps, and then I was like, fuck it, throw on 300, let's go. Supreme confidence, I was like, I can't fail the day. I could feel it. And actually, I think I ended up doing 300, and I felt like I had more in the tank. I was like, dude, I could probably do like one or two more, and I was like, fuck it, let's throw on some more weight. So I think I did 313, and I was like, oh my God. It was the same day, so I was like, dude, I got real close to 3 plates, It was just 2 pounds off. 315 is 3 plates, But I got it after that, so most I got up was just the mid 300s. So I think 357 was the most I bench pressed. But I want to get back there again and get above that. So it's going to take me time and a plan to stay consistent and eat properly, or enough food, I guess, because you got to be in a surplus when you're bench pressing. You don't have to be, but it's harder when you're on a restricted calories, and stuff like that. But it's good for deadlifts. So you lose weight and you're deadlifting, you actually could get stronger. I was from a body weight ratio, I was strongest when I was my smallest. Because as strong as I got was just over a two-time body weight deadlift, just a little bit over that. I think I was like 192. It was the first time I deadlifted 405 and stuff like that. So, yeah, which is pretty hefty for a lot of people, but that's still over two times body weight. A lot of people doing way more in the body weight ratio. But I was pretty proud of that. But I got big and deadlift didn't go anywhere. They started facing injuries in the ankles and stuff like that. I got pretty close to 500 though, so that's my lifetime goal right now, just 500 on a deadlift. That'd be cool. That's not much to a lot of people, I know, but to me, whatever, that's my goal, right? Eventually maybe go past that. So we'll find out this week if I got it or not. So, not got it, but gonna work towards it. So that's where I'm at. So I just got back into it. I just got to remember not to squat as frequently, especially if I want to up my deadlifts, because I do got those ankle problems and stuff like that still. I've been to the hospital a few times, and they don't, they couldn't figure nothing out. Just told me not to do that as much. Got some, what is that? Those varicose veins, and they're like, well, we can't do nothing until you can't move your foot. And other people are like, they could do that right away. And I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? So I've been there a couple times, and that's how they are talking. I have to talk to like cardiologists and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, this sucks. What the fuck? So for some people, it's simple, and they get them in, and I don't know what the hell, Like, why is it different when I go in? So, and all they did is look at my leg, and they didn't, that's all, like no scans or anything like that. So sometimes I feel like they just dick certain people around, and that's why this hospital near us gets such a bad rap, and, it's true, though. They do kind of dick people around, and they're some of those people can be assholes, especially when you're just asking simple questions like, you really don't know? They're like, bitch, I don't work here. I didn't go to school for that. That's why we're here in front of you trying to get you to inform us, like, why are you being an asshole, And it kind of sucks, and that attitude is very contagious, Sometimes they're like, treat your like workers right, but like around here, some of these workers are entitled too. They're like asshats, They don't even say, oh, can I help you look for anything? Or, they just got attitudes as soon as you're like, hey, excuse me, does anybody, like this one time I went to Walmart, it's like, excuse me, do you guys got a key for the electronics? I need some new headphones. And they're like, oh, Amber has it. And they're like, walks away. And I'm like, who the fuck is Amber? Like, I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't work here, dude. Like, what the fuck? So I went to ask some other random lady, and she just goes, no. And I'm like, no what? Like, all right, fuck you guys. I don't need the headphones. I'll just go to fucking Target or something, And it was like, if I would have copped an attitude, would I have been like labeled the guy that just fucking acts like an asshole to these workers or whatever, Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's more complex than that. Like sometimes they record when the customer's angry. Like, did that employee piss them off? Like almost like that. But I've also been in situations where people are pissed at me when I'm working for no reason. So there are instances like that. But at the same time, I was like, hey, sir, you get calm down, or else I'm just gonna call security, get you the fuck out of here. So I worked at a casino in the deli. People were allowed to drink, so as you can imagine, people get obnoxious, and we were always trying to be as fair as we can, and be like, hey man, if you don't calm down, we're just gonna call security. You can leave, 'Cause we can't do nothing when the line's out the door, and you guys keep piling in to get some sandwiches because everywhere else is closed, and it's a show night where there's a pretty big concert, like Montgomery Gentry or Maroon 5 or something like that, like they had some pretty good concerts, Kid Rock or whatever, and there'd be a shit ton of people show up, and what do they want? They want some sandwiches, and they want them fast, and a couple people can only whip out so many sandwiches, It's crazy. I think the most we made in a night for a deli was like a couple $1,000, Yeah, it was busy. There's been times where I had to work that. There was times when I worked there where, everybody called in, and it'd be just me. And then, and then people would still get mad, and people like in the line would be like, hey man, leave him alone. He's working his ass off. Like, if you don't like it, get the fuck out of the line. And I'm like, that's awesome, to see people in the community that would be like that too, and it's like, yeah, thanks, sir. And then you just give them a couple extras, whatever, like a little bit of bacon or something, But yeah, I always talk about that place because I experienced a lot there, especially at a young age, But I also realized that wasn't the best place, and that wasn't the place for me at that time. So I left pretty abruptly, but I think they probably would have fired us anyways because, we had security guards try to get us fired, or surveillance people try to get us fired over pizza once. It was some old burnt ass pizza, and because we forgot to mark it down on the waste thing. They were trying to get us fired. Like, this is $2 pizza, man. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's burnt, you know what I mean? And then I think the same guy came down after. He was like, "You hook me up with this burnt pizza." So he knew. I think it was him. So, but I ain't gonna harbor any bad feelings. Like, if this guy wants to be that much of a dick about his job over some old burnt pizza, let him. That just shows how exciting his life was. I don't know. I try not to let those things get to me as much, and like move on from them, because sometimes those things, those thoughts and stuff, they make you hold yourself back, and that's not a good thing. Never hold yourself back, man. Never hold yourself back. You got to keep striving for a little bit more, just a little bit more. You may lose friends, loved ones, or family members, because they might not agree with it, but that's life. That's life, man. Don't be afraid to walk that path alone, Just because you don't have somebody at that moment doesn't mean you won't find somebody down the road. And there's somebody that might appreciate you more, and help you carry on. Don't give up. Don't give up just because you started to have to walk that way. So life's hard, man. Life's hard. Sometimes you get lucky to get that awesome support system, to get people that will help you succeed and help you be the best you can be, So keep your head up, man. Keep your head up if you're going through tough times. That's, it's always easier said than done. I'll say that a million times till the day I die. So anyways, peace out, guys. I think that's going to be the end of the ramble. If you appreciated it, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button for some more rambles. I for sure hit every Monday. I'll throw it in between if I, because I do record randomly, but I don't post every single one. So, but anyways, I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope everybody has a good day today in general. So, and also if you haven't started walking, I hope you start walking and stuff like that. You don't have to do rambles or anything like that, obviously. Just start walking, It makes a world of difference because, it helps you clear your mind and helps you feel a little bit better. So, peace out, guys. Love you. Bye.